Another day, a reason for us to most likely celebrate in Hasan's downfall. We are now on episode 40 of the How is Hamas, Diddy, Osama bin Laden, Adolf Epstein, Baby Oil Piker. Let's see what he did this time. This just happened yesterday, so let's get into it. I'll be real. I think things are slowing down. I do. I think things are slowing down. It looks like Hasan realizes that everybody on Earth is waiting for his next fuck up, and he looks like he's being a good boy ever since, you know, going to the ICE protest where he was committing illegal activity on stream. But let's see. Are things slowing down? Let's find out.
Welcome back to absolute history in the making. In today's video, Hasan is now being exposed for lying about the detainment at the airport. He's calling it—
That's right. Yep, I remember this happened. I remember, you know what, I don't want to spoil this yet.
out H3H3 again, calling him a disgusting monster. He's also really mad at XQC for calling him out. Asmongold has also reacted to my video and is criticizing Ludwig.
Unfortunately, XQC isn't Hasan's bitch like Ludwig is, so XQC probably won't remove the videos.
Now, already subscribe or you got a 1v1 Frogan in a hot dog eating competition. Yo, good pal. And let's begin. Basically, a quick recap. A while back, Hasan was detained at the airport by border security. He claimed to have been detained by—
Yo, where's the footage, Hasan? I thought you said the footage was coming out, man. Where is it?
The U.S. government for having differing political opinions, and he made like a big hoopla about it. He talked about silencing free speech, and all the news media wrote about it. He also claimed that it lasted 2 to 3 hours, and they asked him questions about supporting terrorists like Hamas. Now, shortly after, 2
to 3 hours. It was more like 15 minutes.
And Dan Saltman made a timeline which showed that Hasan could not have possibly been detained that long, considering the entire ordeal from leaving the plane to him tweeting was only over an hour. So basically, he was caught in a bold-faced lie. Now, since then, last video, we talked about Hasan being kicked out of the global entry
What do you mean Hasan has a victim complex? What do you mean?
Program that gives you a fast track for traveling, and you get to like skip queues and documents and shit. So one of the points stated in the email was potentially aiding and supporting terrorist organizations or being investigated by the government in general. Now, it seems that Hasan was actually kicked out of this program months ago, and he might have still been trying to use the global entry when it was actually invalid and he just didn't check his email, which would explain why he was actually detained in the first place. Remember Hasan being detained for 99 hours over his political beliefs, aka 15 minutes? Well, months earlier, his card was revoked and he just didn't read the email. Messed up paperwork, revoked application, uses card anyways, gets stopped, and lies about the timeline. Chat, is this 1984? And then he links the email sent to Hasan by the Department of Homeland Security. Destiny and Dan think Hasan is 100% lying about a global entry DHS story. So here we got a Hasan fan saying, wait, so I was completely correct that Hasan was detained or questioned for his protected political speech, lol.
He was pulled aside because of his political beliefs, and you have no evidence of that whatsoever. It's complete bullshit. There's literally no evidence of this, and it's just kind of crazy to take a victory lap. It's like if I imagine that this whole thing right here, instead of being 3 images of a letter that Hasan revealed, imagine it was just a piece of fried chicken. And it would make about as much sense of like his statement there. Wait, so I was completely correct that Hasan was detained, questioned for his protected political speech? LOL. What below indicates that that is the case? Nothing. Like you have nothing. You have that. This is like, it's even worse for Hasan. Hasan is so fucking stupid.
And the inconsistent parts on Hasan's story, I think, are the things are why I'm confident in saying he's lying 100%. I don't even need any more facts. When he says, when the empanada pushback happens, he's like, was it 50 minutes or 2 hours? And he's like, oh, I don't know, who gives a shit? That's like a, whoa, what do you mean, who gives a shit, bro?
Right, so Destiny is basically referencing a stream where Hasan was actually questioned.
Because the whole premise of his argument was how bullshit it was that he was held and pulled aside for that long. And then now all of a sudden, once people realize, wait a minute, you weren't pulled aside that long. Oh, well, it doesn't even matter anyways, to be honest. No, it never mattered, actually.
Questioned about his story at the airport, and he kept changing it, right? He kept changing the timeline, said it wasn't actually important how long it actually was, which obviously reeks of complete bullshit. It seems like Hasan was trying to act like a political victim and wanted to act like the government was trying to silence his free speech when that was not the case at all. If you remember, he even posted after that saying that his bags were being checked at the airport.
But you know what's crazy? He deserves any type of extra checking that they do because, guys, you're at a fucking airport. Why wouldn't you check out the guy who's saying, yeah, America deserved 9/11 and terrorists are great, they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? Yeah, I sure fucking hope he's getting interrogated.
that's not like a routine thing that literally happens to everybody. Now, we also pointed out that
really
even if he was detained, it would not be because of his general political opinions. It would be because of his open terrorist support, or maybe saying America deserved 9/11.
Yep. America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Or maybe threatening to kill U.S. senators.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
Or even now, if something does happen, it would probably be due to the actual crimes he's committed, like recently blocking the highway or supporting not the peaceful parts of the protest, but actually the violent parts, including the riots or people lighting cars on fire. Keep in mind, this guy literally said that he doesn't care if somebody burns his...
Hear me out. Is it fucked up to say that if you vote a president into office, whatever they decide to do, if you let the elections not go your way, you kind of just got to take the fucking L, to be completely honest. Let's not do this shit where we destroy properties, where we set shit on fire, where we go inconvenience the public and put their lives in danger and commit crimes because you're upset and you're mad that y'all lost. Try again in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take the fucking L. Quit this shit. Why the fuck are you blocking off an entire highway and throwing bricks at civilians and police officers' cars? Why are we setting public transport on fucking fire? Why are we destroying windows? Why are we going inside government buildings? You want to know why? Because y'all are mad, y'all are salty, y'all lost, and now you can't accept the fact that we have somebody who's trying to make the country a better place. And yes, I do firmly believe that. If people are entering here illegally, they should get deported and come back once they've done their due processing and come here legally. I do firmly believe that. It is not in our right to have to support criminals who come in here illegally, because that's what you become when you do something illegal. You become a fucking criminal. It's really that easy. There's no real like, well, you know, there's some good ones. Yeah, obviously there are. There's obviously exceptions to the rule. There's probably a lot of them that are great. I'll be real. A lot of them were probably my mates, and they did a great fucking job, and they worked for pennies on the fucking dollar. But there's a certain way that you got to go about doing these things, and there's the legal way, and then there's the illegal way, right? And we as a society, when we don't follow through with our Constitution, when we don't follow through with our laws that are put in place for everybody in this nation, well, that's when things really start to go downhill. We go down a slippery slope, and then we start choosing favorites for who we gonna enforce the law on. It becomes a fucking mess. Special treatment starts happening, and when special treatment happens in the TOS of your country, well, that's not gonna be good at all now, isn't it?
His car because it's leased and he has insurance and he's very rich, so it doesn't matter.
Even if someone were to burn my fucking leased car, like, I still have insurance.
Literally out of touch, rich, champagne socialist piece of shit. So Nux actually responded saying, "Be Hasan Piker, America deserved 9/11, support multiple terrorist organizations, tell your audience to kill 2 US senators, FBI revokes global entry, try to enter USA with global entry anyway, they ask questions at airport security, cry about being detained for 2 hours." Which was not even 2 hours, which was like 15 to 30 minutes. People responding, "Are you kidding? Hasan was delighted to be detained for a couple hours. This guy's fondest wet dream is of being the plucky rebel and living out his resistance fantasies." That is completely true, honestly. I think he's more upset that they didn't detain him longer so he could really play up his suffering. Absolutely.
Rare furry W. Catastrophically rare furry W.
We're still waiting on those tapes to confirm if he was lying about his interview. In my opinion, I think he was definitely lying or exaggerating some parts severely. I think Hasan is getting very close to the finding out stage of his FAFO journey. Anyways, let's move on to Hasan calling out Ethan Klein. Says that he's a disgusting, despicable, immoral monster.
Remember when Ethan posted something from the Gaza Humanitarian Aid Foundation, by the way? Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and added me the other day to be like, see, look at what your people are doing. Look at what your heroes are doing. Fucking asshole, stupid fucking genocide lover, narcissistic douchebag. Anyway, despicable, disgusting, immoral monster.
Jesus Christ, man, he is so mad. What the heck was that? Bro literally has steam coming out of his head like a cartoon character. And
I will say, the other day, I was really pissed off on stream, and I was going off on Poke for trying to snake me behind the scenes to Shinya. And Shinya's like a guy where, like, I don't tolerate anybody trying to fuck between me and his friendship, because we've both been through a lot of bullshit that is completely undeserved. Shinya got so much shit like a year ago for something that he didn't even fucking do. So when Poe tried to fuck between me and Shinya, bro, that pissed me the fuck off. Not to mention, like, when I met that dude, bro was 440 pounds, and I've helped that guy lose 80 fucking pounds so far. right? Because at his age, at his pre-existing weight, he would have been dead at 38. Like, I was big mad.
Genocide lover is such an insane accusation. Keep in mind, Ethan has literally disavowed the tactics that Israel has been using. He's disavowed the Israeli government. He constantly bends over backwards to say that he supports Palestinians. The only problem Ethan has is people like you supporting the terrorist extremist side, being Hamas, obviously. And that's not a very radical of a take that, hey, I don't support terrorists, you know? Also, how are you calling Ethan a narcissistic douchebag? Ethan constantly admits he's wrong. He's even admitted he's wrong straight to your face. He cares about his employees all the time. We've seen him reimburse his employees when things go wrong, like iDubbbz's failed event. Yet you have the audacity to call him a narcissist who only cares about himself. Dude, Hasan is never beating the Epson Home Cinema 50/50 allegations. Literally a top-of-the-line premium projector, this guy. What did Hasan go to college for, by the way? Because it seems like he's got a degree in projection. Anyways, after this, Hasan calls out XQC. Quick recap if you missed last video. Basically, XQC called out Hasan for justifying violence. Hasan was justifying lighting people's cars on fire, and XQC rightfully pointed out that that was pretty insane. He pointed out that if Hasan's Porsche was on fire, or people were throwing bricks at him trying to kill him, he would in fact not be okay with it. In fact, he would cry and shit his Gucci pants, probably call it like a political attack or something like that. And the fact that XQC made a better political point than Hasan just kind of shows you how bad this guy.
Bro, XQC somehow even speaking English is like an amazing feat in and of itself. You know, every single time he drops the Quebecois and says a sentence that I can actually understand when he stops talking in moon runes, I'm like, oh man. But to land that and a reasonable take out of that guy's mouth, oh man, that's a 1 in a million. That's like winning the 5-star on a video game, bro. That's huge. 0.6% chance.
Is at politics. So anyways, in classic Hasan fashion, he got really mad about this. He also has this ongoing beef with XQC where he tries to pretend he's like his friend, but then he backstabs him over and over and over again, constantly taking sides against him every single time. And XQC, sorry to say, but he's kind of like a pushover in these situations. He always tries to renew friendships with Hasan and Pokimane, who shit on him constantly and
get shit on by Poke for years. I have X's back and say that Poke's a fucking snake, and X was right. Dude, no, dude, he's in his dark era. Like, come on, man. It really is a cycle, bro. It really is a cycle.
Both hate his guts secretly. And whenever they meet in person, they're always buddy-buddy, despite the fact that they, like, eat each other's throats online. So I'm very confused as to their whole relationship. But I feel like XQC has finally had enough.
The guy who's trying to make a big deal out of that, by the way, unironically, is now doing a shittier version of Asmongold, whose political coverage of Iran and Israel.
Oh, by the way, anybody who reacts to videos, Asmon clone. Anybody who talks about politics, Asmon clone. Anybody who says, dude, Asmon clone. Anybody who says, and there it is, dude, Asmon clone. Every single one. Every single one, bro. It is so gay, these people, bro. They're so desperate to try to negatively associate anybody with anybody else to like actually undermine what they're doing. They will just make up complete garbage. So is Nux an Asmon clone? Yeah, of course. Mudahar's an Asmon clone. Nux is an Asmon clone. I'm an Asmon clone. XQC's an Asmon clone. Ethan's an Asmon clone. Every single one of them.
Tensions heating.
God forbid I drink a Dr. Pepper. Thank God I have a Diet Coke.
A defense intelligence account posting AI photos and shit. And XQC can't even do what Asmongold is doing. And what Asmongold is doing is already fucking idiotic. And I guess there's a reason why no one who is a serious person considers any of these people as like reliable sources of information.
Yeah.
So Asmon's really dumb, and XQC, he's dumb, and he can't even be as dumb as Asmon, and Asmon is already so dumb. And anybody who likes him, they're really dumb. Why? 'Cause I said so. And I think they're big poo-poo heads. Good one, Hasan. You know what he sounded like doing that speech just now? You ever do what you.
That's right. When I want a reliable source of information, I actually go to Hasan.
Let me go to Hasan to see which terrorist org is the coolest one to support. This one has a really cool gun on it.
I go to twitch.com and go to Hasan's stream. Dude, that's like saying when I want a glass of water, I jump into an active volcano. Not a single non-NPC individual goes to Hasan as an accurate and reliable source of information. There's only 3 reasons you would ever watch a Hasan stream. Number 1, you're a terrorist supporter. Number 2, you're an extreme far lefty.
You know, Pink was a massive Hasan fan. I really should have seen the red flags, guys.
So much so that you find it justifiable to ignore every single despicable, disgusting thing that this guy does because, oh, he supports my side. He supports LGBT, guys. The lover of Hezbollah definitely loves LGBT. The guy who unironically said that Iran is pro-trans because they are so anti-gay that they force gay people to transition against their will. That is apparently weirdly pro-trans, apparently, according to Hasan. Oh yeah, or number 3, you have undergone a lobotomy procedure and that has gone severely wrong. Also, I just gotta address that point. He calls out XUC for looking at like AI photos. Hasan, you thought video game footage from Arma 3 was a real clip.
Rip. They lit that thing up. Look at the traces.
Everyone. Much love, XQCL.
This one is literally Arma 3. It's fake. It's Arma. Oh, god damn it! I hate it!
Look at the mods. This is from a game. This is from a game. This is literally Arma 3.
Why? This is what I mean. This is what I fucking mean. This is what I mean.
Yes, isn't it what this was saying? This was right. This is politics dog shit.
They always constantly posting fake bullshit. One of the things that you gotta always look for, one of the things that you gotta always look out for.
Hasan immediately trying to salvage the situation. Guys, I was just giving an example of the things you gotta look out for. Guys, watch out or you might get tricked by video game footage like me. I'm an experienced political commentator and I still get tricked by video game footage. This guy has the audacity to call out anybody over politics, bro. You can't make this shit up. It's just
that's
cinema.
rough. I'm not gonna lie.
This guy eats his own toenails and he's bodying Hasan, bro. You can't make this up. And I'm sure if I looked further, I could probably find a bunch of clips of Hasan just making these sort of mistakes, mistaking AI images for real things or fake misinformation for real things, getting things wrong over and over. Honestly, if you guys find any clips, send them over my way on Instagram. Anyways, moving on to Asmongold. Turns out Asmongold reacted to my video about Twitch. We're gonna go over some quick highlights and then talk about his longer rant in the Ludwig section of the video. Here's my guess. I think he compiled every single time Hasan broke the rules and sent it to the Twitch staff. Like maybe he sent 4 gigabytes of all of Hasan's
That's not true. There's no way it would only be 4 gigabytes. It had to have been somebody else.
Then Tectone talks about how Twitch actually wants to unban him. This might be post-nut clarity for Dan.
Can I get unbanned? They
that
say,
was funny,
of course.
A woman with an OnlyFans. And it's a very simple rule. If you qualify, you're not banned. And if you're a man, you're automatically banned. And then we move on to
the big problem, unless, no, that's not true. Because if you're a cartoon, you get banned.
True.
But if you're a real girl, you don't.
True.
Because real girls are not as bad as cartoons.
Yep.
All right, I'm the expert on anything Dan Clancy, so here's the simple explanation. He needs his gooning material very specific, all right? He ain't down with that animated bullshit. He needs a real thing. He needs the Alinity, the Amaranth, the Denims. He needs the cam girls, the OF girls, the ASMR streamers. And God forbid, it's the extra special day. He will whip out his Hasan napkin. You know that shit is the dirtiest thing on the planet. Absolutely diabolical. Can we have a moment of silence? Let us pray for the poor washing machine that has to deal with Dan's special Hasan rag. Ay, ay, ay. Then this next part, Asmon talks about the culture of people just like crying and complaining about shit.
Why the f you think they go on Asmongold so much? And every single time I go live,
they gave up on doing that. Basically, a lot of these people gave up trying to make me look bad because they found out it didn't work.
Yep.
That's the problem. Is every single time that somebody went and there was some big cancel campaign or there were a bunch of viral tweets and people got so mad at me. All it did is make me more money. It made me more popular. And the reason why, here's the reason why, is because the people that are going and starting this bullshit are a bunch of hysterical retards on the internet that are delusional. And so when a normal person goes and watches the stream, they say, damn, I thought he was a Nazi. Why is he talking about, why is he talking about like how, like the illegal immigrants aren't our enemies? It's actually the companies that are employing them. Like, that doesn't sound like a Nazi thing. Like, why is he playing, why is he saying like he's friends with this person that's a different skin color? But why, I thought he hated black people. Why is he watching a video of a black person and saying that they're right? What is this? And they see that and they're like, oh, fuck. Damn, maybe that was some bullshit. People are fatigued and tired of having a bunch of weirdo freaks on Twitter that have like 7 different mental illnesses tell them what's normal.
It's low ball. It's at least 11.
Yeah, I mean, I think people...
I'll be real, guys. The past 2 months have probably been the biggest or the second biggest cancellation of my entire content creation career, even so much so as a company banning me from their site 3 times over the past 60 days. And you know what's crazy? It's the most successful month of my entire career. By far. I have never seen numbers like this. I have never seen growth like this. I have never seen money like this. Because people truly are tired of it, man. They are. They're fucking exhausted. Because the world is ruled by overly emotional human beings who want to make their mental illnesses a reality, and people are fucking sick of it.
People are really tired of this type of bullshit. People crying about dumb, insignificant type of shit when there's real problems out there.
Yep.
I think people are particularly sick of those people who call you racist for having a differing opinion or questioning anything at all. You know, they call you anti-LGBT or whatever for the most lukewarm take. And it's just so annoying when you're coming from a good place and you're genuinely trying to understand the situation, what's going on. And then you get people like Hasan and his goon squad trying to cancel you for the dumbest type of shit when in the closet, they're literally supporting terrorists. And I think that Hezbollah clip really sums it up. They got a pride flag on the table. They try to act like, oh, I'm so inclusive. Look at me. You guys should all watch me because, you know, I support your community. And then they declare their love for Hezbollah's flag. It's just, you can't make this shit up, man. People are sick of these dumb Twitter mob shit like that. We know all those tweets that get a ton of likes means nothing. Half of them are botted, or it's just mentally ill people brigading.
Bro, the amount of botted like posts on Twitter that people accept as the status quo is embarrassing. Like, it is so easy to tell a botted fucking tweet. Like, oh, so randomly it's just sitting there. And dude, I'll sit there off of certain accounts and be like, all right, so when is it going to blow up? Because I know out of nowhere there's going to gain 5,000 likes in 3 minutes. So when is that going to happen? And I'll just sit there and I'll watch. And then, there it is. It is so obvious the accounts that bot their tweets. A lot of likes with 12 replies. Yep, yes, sir, 100%.
They have nothing better to do. Anyways, let's move on to the Ludwig section. Basically, if you remember, I called out Ludwig for managing to talk about this whole multi-streaming situation, but avoiding mentioning Hasan once again. And I pointed out how he and his entire chat hates Asmongold and just loves Hasan. So the context here is that Ludwig is talking about Asmon moving to Kick and how the optics are really bad. You know, Kick has all these bad people. Somehow Twitch is better and the good place to be, which is obviously no longer the case. They literally have terrorist supporters there. So here's what he said.
On Kick also protects him if I'm going to be a little more bold here, when Asmon gets banned on Twitch again.
Oh, we thinking I'm going to get in trouble again. The thing is that there's a possibility it might happen. But I feel like a lot of this stuff that I do is really not that bad. I'm going to be honest. Like, I really very rarely do I say anything crazy.
Maybe a week, maybe whatever. But you know where he'll never get banned? Kick.
Dude, I can't even make out what he's actually trying to say here because
he's trying to imply that the things that I say are problematic and then Twitch is going to ban me for that reason. That's what he's trying to imply. It's obvious you're trying to imply that. I don't think that
I'll be real, guys. Like, if you want to put the shit that Hasan has said on a daily basis compared to Asmongold's worst clips, it's like a Club Penguin kid versus like an enraged neo-Nazi. What Asmongold has said at his worst really ain't that bad. And it gets even less bad when you compare it to the shit that Hasan says on a daily basis that has never been punished. It's like the shit that I've said. The worst thing I've done is called a fat person fat, and I called an OnlyFans girl a whore. It's so embarrassing, the double standards of this platform. Like, why even have a TOS if you're not gonna enforce it equally amongst all your creators? It makes no sense.
What I'm saying is so crazy. I really don't. Everybody thinks I'm crazy.
I told the truth twice, and I got banned.
But I don't think that I am. I think everybody else is crazy.
Honestly, I don't agree with a lot of Asmon's takes. There's probably a ton of shit I completely disagree with him about. Obviously, I'm not watching every single one of his streams for 10 hours.
What's crazy is so many people say that shit, even with me. They say, oh, well, Tectone says all this crazy shit. Asmon says all this crazy shit. And I don't mean to draw parallels, but it is the truth. They always talk about all this horrible shit we say. And then they never talk about what that shit was. They're like, but I don't like Tectone, but he's got a point here. Oh, well, what did he do? Oh, well, I'm not really sure, but I just heard. And it's like, shut up, bro. Like, dude. How many posts have you guys seen on Twitter saying, I don't really like Tectone, but guys, I think he's right here. And then you ask him, well, why don't you like him? Oh, I don't know. I just heard this and that, and it's all bullshit, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so lame. Or like, Asmongold said some pretty crazy shit. Okay, so what'd he say? Well, I don't know, but I heard that he said this, and it's like, okay, so we're retarded. Okay, great.
hours or whatever. I occasionally catch the clip or whatever for what I need for my videos and shit like that. Obviously, I don't have time for that. I'm making my own videos pretty much every day at this point. But I think from what I've seen so far, Asmon usually has the most lukewarm take.
I'm going to Google that on Twitter. I don't like Tectone, but I was going to say that I don't like Tectone, but you know I don't like Tectone, but over and over and over and over. And then you ask them, well, what did he do? Well, I heard this one person said this one thing and, well, nothing really happened. And, well, apparently his dad, what's he got to do with his dad? Well, nothing, but they'll say loud or bald or cringe. And that's what people say when they don't really have anything of substance to say.
Takes ever. Like, this shit is not controversial in any place other than America. America is the only place where half the shit he says is considered controversial. Like, Asmon will say shit like breaking the law is bad, and then you'll have like Hasan fans go like, nah, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. What a disgusting cockroach. And like, when a regular person like me, who is completely neutral and watching from another country, has nothing to do with America at all, not invested on any side, I just see like someone like Hasan supporting terrorists, pretending grapes didn't happen, laughing at dead babies in coffins, and I see this like dehumanizing type of shit, and I'm just like, this is not comparable. How are people comparing Asmon to Hasan? One guy is clearly way more extreme.
Now, Ludwig has kind of boxed himself into a corner with like the image that he's created for himself.
Because the majority of streamers in the spotlight right now are a bunch of soft, pussyfooting leftist retards. And that's how they are. And they're all doing a rat race of who can shill out the more progressive ideals that they themselves don't even fucking believe in, and hopefully to get a couple more moral standing up dudes on the fucking internet. And everybody says, I love my streamer because they're so unproblematic. I love this streamer because they lie to me. It's great. Oh man, I love that.
So you're probably not going to see Ludwig streaming or multi-streaming on Kick or anything like that. But I think that in a different world where if Kick was a different website, he'd probably be multi-streaming on there too.
Yeah, the different worlds he's talking about is if...
Man, streaming on Kick is so problematic. The guy who invents the Subathon, the literal most greed-driven streaming fucking service stream that you can possibly fucking do. Yeah, I'm going to just stream normally and be lazy as shit, but I'm going to collect like fucking $5 every 5 seconds. Like, let's stop talking about morals when you're the guy who invented the Subathon, right? And by the way, yeah, you're goddamn right. I've done 3 Subathons. I might even do 4. But let's not sit here and preach morals when you invented the greediest streamer tactic of all time, bar none. Let's relax, dude. Did he actually invent them? Yes. Ludwig is the guy who created the Subathon, yes.
Hasan somehow owned Kick and then gave a little biscuit to Ludwig, you know, his dog, be like, hey, here's a little treat, good boy. You know, you
I'm sorry, guys. If you are paying your hard-earned money to watch someone sleep on stream, you're getting scammed. Like, let's just be real. Like, you're getting scammed. Everybody fucking knows it. It is. Like, it's insane. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And listen, every time I'm just like, why the fuck does my chat want me to do a subathon? I have never done a subathon without my chat screaming for me to do it. I don't know why these fucking people want to watch me sleep, but all right, I'll do one. I literally felt so bad the last one. I was like, okay, well, whoever subscribes last, I'll give $10,000. And I fucking did, by the way. Actually, I gave out $20,000 because it was bugged. And I couldn't tell who the last person was. So I gave out $20,000 fucking dollars.
You get some permission to stream there.
2 rage-baiting champions who love sitting down with a soda.
How is Hasan anywhere close to Asmon? Hasan literally supports and platforms terrorists. Like, you can not like his takes or his politics or whatever, but putting them in...
by the way, guys, and with all that being said, I will absolutely do another subathon later. Why the fuck? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a gambling Kick subathon where I stay live and I gamble as long as chat gives me $1,000 every minute. Yep, and we'll just roll the dice. And whoever subs before I hit the big one, once I get a max win, whoever subs before the max win, they get all the winnings.
In the same boat is crazy. Also, why was he so offended?
I would say, like, I mean, really, in a lot of ways, Hasan and I are kind of the same. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people would draw that conclusion. I don't think that's really a crazy thing to say. And really, it's just like 2 people that are really opinionated that say crazy shit, right?
I just completely disagree. People say that so much, and I think it's so fucking bullshit. Like, genuinely. Like, I think it is such fucking garbage that we're really going to say Hasan and Asmon are the same people. No, they're fucking not. Hasan actively promotes for people, civilians, to get harmed. Asmon doesn't do that shit. I agree that Asmon says some crazy shit, but usually it's just saying the quiet part out loud. Hasan just be saying dumb shit just to farm reactions. I don't know. I can't agree with that one, man. I really cannot agree with that.
I mean, like it's not that bad of a comparison.
Okay, Asmon has got to stop doing this, bro. He always gives him like the maximum courtesy. Bro, he's out there supporting terrorists. It's not even on the same level. Personally, I don't really care about someone's politics. You can do whatever you want as long as you're not like actively resulting in hurting other people or spreading insane levels of propaganda to the point where it is legitimately damaging to people. Then he talks about how people will morally posture over things like, you know, moving the kicker, for example.
So whenever you take a round and you look at a person's own actions and you say, well, if you're criticizing a person for doing this, why can't this criticism be leveraged against you for doing Y? And there's not really a reason for it.
Yep.
And so what's happening, I think, now is that there's been a breakdown in the moral posturing of the internet. I think that there was a tremendous amount of like moral posturing and like pretending, basically. And this was in like 2020 to 2023, I would say.
He just made that word up. Let me get to the bottom of this. Moral posturing is the act of publicly displaying a self-righteous moral stance, often a way that prioritizes the appearance of a genuine conviction or action. Is that not just the exact same thing as virtue signaling? It's pretty much the same goddamn thing, but very subtly different. It's like semantics.
Especially during COVID, maybe a little bit in 2019. And so it was really, really bad, and people created these entire false personalities and false worlds. Virtue signaling, yeah, there was an entire vulture...
Okay, I'm glad. I was like, bro. Why are we introducing a new term that the audience is going to have to learn what the fuck that is?
Vulture, I said that, is honestly...
It's not very new. No, it's an old term, but now people are saying it. Let's keep going.
It's the same thing. It's more accurate. Vulture signaling is better. They created this entire economy and ecosystem around pretending to be people that they're not.
Absolutely.
And then actively doing things that are not really completely in line with what they believe. And so, or trying to play both sides, or like always having the right opinion on everything. But the fact is that I think that now there's like a growing, I think, tiredness that people have of having anybody tell them like what's good and bad. People just want to watch entertainment. They don't really give a fuck about any of this stuff, right? Like it's all like just noise for most people.
Yeah, I mean, this is well said. Basically, for a long time on the internet, sometimes even now, there's this group of people who will...
It's like, for example, everybody knew Enviosity and everybody knew Atsu was a piece of shit. But people kept watching them as long as they played Genshin because that's what they wanted them to do. If your content becomes a piece of shit, as long as they keep on doing the thing that you want them to do. That's why creators who get outed as snakes will like stay in that one category because it's the only category they can ever succeed in forever. And if they do ever pivot out, they're gone. Enviosity completely destroyed his own career. Envy could have stayed live in Genshin and collected millions of dollars like he has been, but he gave up because he's weak. And now he's playing Pokemon Pocket and he's fucked forever.
Constantly morally posture about things, right? And some of these things are legitimate concerns. Like whenever like people accuse me of doing this, like when I talk about iDubbbz screwing over a charity, they're like, you don't really care about that. I mean, you're saying that I don't care about a charity and it's bad, and you think I'm faking my feelings that it's bad to take from charity and kids with cancer. Like obviously I do care about it to some extent. Am I gonna lose sleep over it or anything? Not really, but I'm not saying I'm gonna do that. As a general human, I care about things that are...
That's my biggest weakness, and I will admit this. When I get angry, I lose sleep over everything because I'll get so fucking mad. I'll like sit there and I'll fantasize about taking these. I swear to God, I'm like Batman. Let me rephrase that. I swear to God, I think that I'm Batman because I'll be like, oh man, these people are bad. They're bad people. So I'll just sit there and be like, they're bad people. They've done this to me. They're gonna do this to someone else unless I fucking do something.
Or scummy, and I can get mad over tiny things like supporting terrorists or stealing from charity. It just feels a bit weird. But yeah, when we talk about morally grandstanding, we're mostly referring to people saying like, oh, you didn't put a black square on Instagram. You don't care about black people. You're fat phobic for criticizing fat people who are like morbidly obese and dying.
Why the fuck would I be afraid of fat people? I'll just beat them up.
Oh, you're homophobic for calling out a gay person's take they had and not their identity.
Why the fuck would I be afraid of a gay person? I'll just, never mind.
At all. That's the type of moral posturing that's really annoying where you're sitting on your high horse. And the worst part is the people that do this are usually massive hypocrites. Like even Ludwig or his chat, they'll call Asmongold racist and say all these things like grifter, but then they openly support Hasan, collaborate with him, bend over backwards for him, delete videos for him, defend a guy essentially, in my opinion, scamming a charity event by taking 30...
It's because content creators on the internet are horrified of being right-leaning. But they're okay. Jesus Christ, holy fuck, undead zombie. But everybody is always so quick to jump to anything that's towards the left-leaning. And I'll be real, it's exhausting. Like Austin, dude, Austin is so blue, it's insane. That's why I'm honestly thinking about moving to San Antonio. It's a much more of a red town where people just aren't just gigantic fucking pussies. It's nuts. It really is. It seems like the left is ruled by emotions and the right a lot, like once again, left-leaning and right-leaning. If you're an extremist of either side, you're retarded. But it really seems like if you lean more left, you're more of an emotional person. If you lean more right, you're more of a logical person. To the extremes of either, you are both retarded. But usually, that's how it more so seems.
34%, not making it clear to people. And it's just a bunch of fake sort of fence sitting because, you know, you pretend to fence it, but actually you're definitely on one side, right? And the only reason you do that is you want everyone to like you. But
disagree hard there. It's just when you really break down the common left versus right talking points, it just usually really seems like what's the, and maybe it's different because my rationale lines up with that. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's logic based. But the majority of arguments I hear the left making are usually like emotional based arguments. Like, so for example, right? So like a more left-leaning take is that we should allow illegal immigrants into our country because look at how sad it makes them when we kick them out. But it's like the right thinks, well, yeah, but they're committing a crime. So like people are like, but like look at how awful it is. Look at how much pain we're putting them through. But it's like, yeah, but they committed the crime, right? Or then it's like, oh, well, we don't want to own guns because guns are scary and they hurt people. But then it's like, but yeah, but then if we don't have guns, then only the bad guys have guns. It really depends on the situation. Agree to a certain extent. Yeah, it's a hard topic to address. I would love to maybe go further into detail why I think that. Most people are eccentric leaning one way or another. The extremists are retarded. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I call myself a centrist. I believe in logical sense and anything political. Yeah, that's fair.
But it ends up turning everybody against you. Then this next part, Ludwig was talking about the connotation with moving to kick.
I could come up with
the connotation. The I think like the people who you are surrounded with. That's really
that's the connotation and like all this stuff. This is a fake thing that's made up by viewers and other streamers in order to try to control other people. The moment that you just decide to be your own man and make decisions for yourself, rather than let people shaming you and trying to bully you into doing something, control you, is the moment that you are able to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so like a lot of people...
That's why I'm really glad I kind of cut ties with everything, because I cannot tell you how exhausting it was every single time I said anything, every single time I did anything. Hey, so did you hear that this guy in your org did this? Jesus Christ. Man, you guys know how I am with my friends. Like, I don't want to inconvenience anything with people who I care about. So getting out of that shit really allowed me to actually just say what I wanted to fucking say. Because God, it was exhausting. It was exhausting not talking about things that I wanted to talk about. It was exhausting not saying things that I wanted to say because I knew it would cause shit for everybody else.
For doing this, and the funny thing is that everybody has a line for this, and like, you know, Ludwig is on Twitch. I mean, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Amazon, everybody would agree, is an immoral employer in a lot of ways. You know, they astroturf fake accounts in order to pretend like union support for Amazon is low. I mean, like that's disgusting, right? I mean, who does that? And then you go over to Twitter. Ludwig is active all the time on Twitter.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. When you use these people's arguments against them, it completely falls apart. Like the connotation with going to kick is so bad. There's so many bad streamers there. Okay, Twitch is equally shit. Terrorist supporters like Hasan, the whole goon squad.
Hey, I'll be real. With the streamers who are at the top of Twitch, I unironically think Twitch is worse than Kick. All of the bad streamers that were on Kick, get this, guys, they got fucking permanently banned. Who is a big streamer at the top of Kick that's a problem? Who? XQC, Train? And then you look at the top of Twitch and it's Hasan every single fucking day. Like, what are we talking about?
Puts bounties on people, threatens to kill people. It's also owned by Amazon, the most moral company in the entire world, obviously.
I consider myself to be left-leaning, but still logical. I'm here, aren't I? The biggest problem I see on the left is we don't police our own illogical behavior. I love the stream. Yeah, absolutely. There's no 100%. I'm just saying, like, when you really think about the policies, and once again, I'll go into this on a further video, but a lot of it can be broken down to, maybe I'll pivot my take to that, which is streamers who are more so left-leaning are more emotional thinkers, and streamers who are more so right-leaning, not far right, not far left, streamers that are more so far right are more logical-based thinkers. I guess that's what I'll change my take to, because in totality, doing a broad paint or a brushstroke that big will obviously lead to complications and discontent. But I would say for streamers, on average, that's more so what it's like.
Also on the BDS list, by the way. So according to them, if you stream on Twitch, which supports Amazon, you don't care about Palestine. So Hasan, by the way, he says he follows this list, right? He says he does boycott stuff based on this logic, but conveniently dodges it when it applies to something he actually cares about. Like if it's a little Coca-Cola drink, he'll be like, oh.
Both are needed, yes. I think the problem is that people are thinking that when I say emotional, I'm using it as in a derogatory. I'm not inherently saying having emotions is bad. It's not. I think you need logic and emotion, right? I do. I really do. I think you need both. But it's just which one outweighs the other.
Okay, I won't drink it. I support Palestine, guys, because obviously a minor thing like that doesn't affect us.
Because I will say, like, one of the things that people criticize me for is for having too much emotions, having too much sympathy, having too much empathy. And it's like, I don't really want that part of me to go away. I don't want to become like some cold political streamer who can't understand the damage they're doing to real people, right? Like, some people want to really hold it against me for the fact that I've probably cried on stream, and in 6.5 years, I think I've cried 4 times on stream. I'm not ashamed of that at all. You know, I'm very in touch with my emotions 100%. But I do think you need logic and emotions. Otherwise, it's going to send you down a very slippery slope.
Career, but if you tell him to leave Twitch, oh no, that suddenly, oh no, I'm specially protected on this platform. Also, the thing about Twitter, like, they're constantly putting dollars in Elon's pocket, so it's like blatant hypocrisy if you go using their own logic, right? Also, when Ludwig says that people are afraid of going to Kick because of their community, he's literally talking about his own community. He's admitting that he might have thought of doing these things, and he probably thinks it's actually okay to stream on Kick too, but he's so audience captured that his own community won't let him do shit with that.
Yeah, I'll be real. If your audience is going to tell you exactly what they allow you to do, who they allow you to speak to, you're just a fucking loser. I made a post about this the other day. People guilting streamers for streaming on Kick are absolute 100% turbo pussies. Y'all the motherfuckers letting Twitch have this monopoly over the streaming space. Hope y'all enjoy your 8 minutes of ads an hour and pay gated features that every other platform has for free. Get a grip, lock in. Straight up, I think everybody can agree that competition breeds success, and I breed your mother, so we should allow streamers to go to different platforms to get better features, to get better treatment of streamers and consumers by giving these corporations competition. Even if I were to stop streaming on Twitch, I would never become exclusive to one platform ever again. Ever. Because competition breeds success. Unless they're paying me a crazy bag to go full exclusive, I will never go full exclusive to any streaming company ever again. Absolutely not. And if there comes a new website to upload videos, I'll double upload there too. There's no reason not to. Dude, brand loyalty is for fucking retards. You got to make sure these corporations understand they need to work for your business. They need to work for your loyalty. Because the moment they get it for free, they gonna take advantage of you. So that's why you always make them work.
Insane backlash, right? Like, the second Asmongold's name was mentioned, they spam shit like, good riddance, good day, he's gone, disgusting.
You had an exclusivity contract? No, I did not.
I hate him, worst person ever, racist. Like,
I'm just saying, I used to exclusively stream on Twitch, but that was by choice, which was a mistake on my end.
If you have a community like that, they're not going to let you be free and be your authentic self. So that's why, as a creator, it's important you put your foot down and not be walked on over by these pathetic losers, right? I always listen to feedback, but I'm not a dog like Ludwig, who can be trained by someone like Hasan. You gotta stand up for yourself, you know? You gotta have a little level of self-respect so you're not being walked over like that. Now click this video or you gotta watch.
Absolutely. This was a great video, and I love this shit because it just sends me on fucking tangents. Man, what a good ass time. Like, comment, subscribe.